an astonishing development in the investigation into the June killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar outside of Surrey, Gurdwara.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau cited credible intelligence suggesting India was behind the slaying. On the evening of June 18th, Nijjar was shot to death outside the Guru Nanak Sikh Gurdwara, where he served as president. Nijjar was a leader of the Khalistan movement, pushing for an independent Sikh state. The Indian government had labeled him a terrorist.
Canada has declared its deep concerns to the top intelligence and security officials of the Indian government. Last week at the G20, I brought them personally and directly to Prime Minister Modi in no uncertain terms. Any involvement of a foreign government in the killing of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil is an unacceptable violation of our sovereignty.
We know that the practice of the Indian government has been one of division, of violence, persecution, attacking those that are critical of the government. It is now an important time to send a clear message as a democratic country, as a country that respects the rule of law.
Trudeau's assertion in the House will likely set off an unprecedented diplomatic confrontation with India, a nation that is a long-standing ally of Canada.
Well, the Prime Minister's explosive accusation mirrors what many in the BC Sikh community have been saying since the night Nijjar was killed.
That's right, and Rumina Dea is live at the Guru Nanak Gurdwara in Surrey for us tonight. Rumina, what are you hearing from leaders there?
Chris, the community was astounded by Trudeau's announcement today on the House floor. And while they are grateful for it, they say it was an epic moment. They're equally angry that no one listened to them for months.
Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
A stunning allegation. No evidence, no details released by the Trudeau government. For months, the Sikh community has been alleging Hardeep Singh Nijjar was assassinated, but they say they were ignored.
A public inquiry into India's interference in this country needs to happen immediately, and we've been saying that since before Hardeep's death.
Sort of like a relief, but then that kind of turned into resentment of the fact that this has been going on for 40 plus years, and it finally took for our leader to be killed for them to have some sort of acknowledgement.
45-year-old Nijjar, a prominent Sikh leader and president of the Guru Nanak Gurdwara, was shot to death in his truck outside the temple in Surrey back in June. No one has been arrested.
This thing, it shook the community across the entire world, including in Punjab.
For months, the community has been demanding the federal government look into allegations of foreign involvement. The Indian government claims Nijjar is a terrorist and last year put a bounty on his head. Nijjar's supporters say India was trying to silence him because he was advocating for an independent Sikh state in India, which has a Hindu majority.
It's not a surprise because from the day one of the assassination since June 18th, we have been informing the Canadian government, the Canadian authorities, that this is the handiwork of the Indian government and Indian agents are responsible for this act of terrorism.
Sikh groups are questioning the timing of Trudeau's announcement. They're hoping that this is not a political move. They are vowing protests across the country at Indian consulates across Canada. And that's going to be on Monday, as I mentioned, in Vancouver, we know of, Toronto and Ottawa. As far as the temple here tonight, there will be a memorial service for Nijjar starting at 7 p.m. Back to you.
All right. Thanks very much, Rumina.
Now, as the investigation unfolds, Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly has announced Canada is expelling a key Indian diplomat and expecting the full cooperation of India. Ottawa Bureau Chief Mercedes Stephenson joins us with more on the bigger picture and the dominoes that could fall. Mercedes.
Well, this really is a difficult situation for the Trudeau government, who've been trying to shift away from the focus on China and the souring relationship there, concerns about foreign interference. And now the other major ally in the region, India, is obviously under a tremendously strained relationship. And as you mentioned there, and Ramina was just saying, Sikh groups have been calling, in many cases, for India's High Commissioner here in Ottawa to be expelled. So far, that hasn't happened, but we do have the identity of the diplomat who Canada has kicked out in the wake of this assassination. It is Pavan Kumar Rai, and the Canadian government says that he was the head in Canada of the RAW. The RAW is the Research and Analysis Wing, which might sound academic, but it's actually India's version of the CIA or Israel's version of Mossad. It is a very active foreign intelligence agency. So he's been expelled at this time. We heard from Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly about this earlier today, and this is what she had to say.
We expect India's full collaboration to make sure that we get to the bottom of this. And as of today, and as a consequence, we've expelled a top Indian diplomat from Canada.
And this really is going to be a tough situation for Justin Trudeau to navigate, because the government has just released this policy, the Indo-Pacific policy, which they've really been touting, which obviously focused a great deal around India. And now there are serious questions about what the relationship will look like. Back to you.
I would imagine. All right, Mercedes Stevenson joining us from Ottawa. Mercedes, thank you.